Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that the financial world has shifted overnight. Not because of one bad decision, not because of a single failing bank, but because the foundations of the global economy were quietly cracking for years. And now, finally, they've split open. To understand why many experts fear the years ahead, we have to look backward. Because history doesn't repeat itself exactly, but it rhymes in ways that should make us pay attention. In 1929, the stock market collapsed almost 90% and unemployment soared to levels the country had never seen before. In 2008, it was the housing market that broke first, dragging banks, jobs, and retirement accounts down with it. Both moments changed millions of lives. But today's problem is far more dangerous because it isn't a single bubble. It's three happening at the same time. The first is the stock market. Prices today are stretched far beyond historical norms. And even worse, a massive portion of the market's value now sits in just a handful of giant companies. If even one of them reports weaker earnings, misses a forecast, or faces a sudden drop, the entire market could fall with it. The structure has become fragile, and everyone is pretending it's normal. The second bubble is real estate. Home prices are far above their long-term trend. Commercial buildings are sitting half-empty in major cities, financed at old low interest rates but now facing refinancing at rates more than double or triple what they were before. Many of these buildings simply can't survive those higher costs, creating slow-moving failures that will accelerate with time. And then there is the third bubble, bonds. The asset class that's supposed to be safe during crashes is now under pressure because government debt has climbed so high that interest payments alone have become the largest single expense in the national budget. In the past, when stocks fell, bonds protected investors. But today, even bonds are struggling under the weight of enormous borrowing. This is why many historians believe the world is experiencing something closer to the conditions of 1928 rather than 2008. Back then, people believed new inventions and new technologies had made recessions a thing of the past. Today, many believe artificial intelligence is going to transform the economy in ways that eliminate old financial rules. The optimism is the same. The danger is the same. And the amount of borrowed money in the system is just as extreme. Household credit cards are full. Car loans are stretched across 7 years. Student loans have returned after a long pause, and millions of borrowers are struggling. Corporate debt has exploded as companies borrowed heavily during periods of low interest rates. Everywhere you look, the system is loaded with obligations that depend on nothing going wrong. But history always shows that something eventually does. One of the most reliable warning signs in finance, the yield curve, has already flashed red. Every recession in the last 70 years was preceded by a similar pattern, and that pattern has already appeared again. The danger window is open. What makes this moment especially frightening is the lack of tools available. In 2008, the central bank had plenty of room to cut interest rates. It had the ability to print money on a massive scale to stabilize markets. The government had borrowing capacity to fund bailouts. But today, those tools are nearly exhausted. Rates are not high enough to cut deeply. Money printing risks another surge in inflation. Government debt is already enormous, limiting the ability to borrow more. For the first time in modern history, a major financial crisis could strike without a safety net. If markets begin to fall, margin calls would speed the decline. Borrowed money would be forced out of the system quickly, pushing prices down even further. If real estate owners can't refinance their properties, banks holding those loans will face losses. Regional banks could begin to fail, triggering panic among depositors. Even the system that insures bank deposits has only a tiny fraction of the money needed to cover widespread failures. From there, the pain would ripple outward. Businesses would cut jobs. Homeowners who bought at high prices would find themselves underwater. Retirees would see their savings fall sharply. Younger generations entering the job market would face some of the toughest conditions in decades. This isn't fear-mongering. It's a reminder that every economic boom in history has convinced people that this time is different. But the truth is always the same. No system built on extreme debt and extreme confidence lasts forever. And what many fear about 2025 and 2026 is that the correction won't be gentle. It could be sudden, fast, and deeper than anything seen in modern times, because it's not just one bubble. It's everything happening at once. A perfect storm the world has seen variations of before, but never on this scale.